Welcome back. In our last episode, we saw God's tender promise to Abraham and Sarah, but as that divine visit ended, the story took a dark turn. Two of the Lord's messengers walked towards Sodom, a city whose wickedness had reached the heavens. What Abraham feared was about to unfold. This is the story of judgment and rescue, where we see that even in wrath, God remembers mercy. That evening, the two angels arrived at the gates of Sodom. Lot, Abraham's nephew, was sitting there, and, seeing them, bowed low. He pleaded with them, "My lords, please come to my house, wash your feet, spend the night, and you can be on your way in the morning." At first, they refused, saying they'd stay in the city square. But Lot insisted so strongly that they finally agreed and went to his home, where he prepared a meal for them. Before they could even go to bed, the house was surrounded. The men of Sodom, young and old, from every part of the city, were outside. They shouted to Lot, demanding he bring out his visitors. Lot stepped outside, shutting the door behind him. "Please, my friends," he begged, "don't do this wicked thing." But they wouldn't listen. They pressed in, about to break down the door. Suddenly the angels reached out, pulled Lot back inside, and bolted the door. They struck the angry mob with blindness, so they couldn't find the entrance. Then they turned to Lot with a grave warning. "Do you have anyone else here? Sons, daughters, any relatives? Get them out of this place. The outcry against this city is so great that the Lord has sent us to destroy it." Lot rushed to warn his sons-in-law who were engaged to his daughters, but they laughed at him, thinking he was joking. As dawn broke, the angels urged him, "Hurry, take your wife and your 2 daughters, or you'll be swept away in the city's punishment." But Lot hesitated. So the angels, in an act of incredible mercy from the Lord, grasped his hand, and the hands of his wife and daughters, and physically led them out of the city to safety. Once they were clear, one angel commanded, "Flee for your lives, don't look back, and don't stop anywhere in the plain." Then, the Lord rained down burning sulfur on Sodom and Gomorrah. Fire fell from the heavens, overthrowing the cities and the entire plain, destroying everything and everyone living there. But in that moment of chaos, Lot's wife looked back, even though the angel instructed them not to look back while walking out of the city. She longed for the life she was leaving, and she became a pillar of salt. This occurred near Dead Sea region around Valley of Sodom, where the area is very rich in salt up till date. Please feel free to look it up while doing your own research. Now, let's move on. The next morning, Abraham returned to the place where he had stood before the Lord. He looked out over the plain and saw dense smoke rising, like the smoke from a furnace. But the Bible tells us that God remembered Abraham. Because of Abraham's intercession, God brought Lot out of the catastrophe. Lot was saved not by his own righteousness, but because God heard a prayer and showed mercy. Sodom's sin was pride, arrogance, and a complete refusal